Hello, welcome to Starcastic Remarks. My name is Ryan Chambers, and I am one of the hosts of Starcastic Remarks. This is the after-game review for game number 73. The Stars pull out the win tonight with a final score of 1-0 against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Before we get into tonight's game summary, I do want to thank DraftKings Sportsbook for their support of this podcast and the entire Hockey Podcast Network. Go and use that promo code THPN the next time you go and use their app. Unfortunately, tonight it is just going to be me again. Chris and James are both.
He's a liar.
He's a liar. You're not supposed to say anything, Christian. You're going to ruin it for everybody.
That's a sin.
I was trying to lead people on and say we finally get everybody back and the stars are aligned and everything. But you didn't let me say my line. Come on.
The stars are truly aligned now. Oh, my God. I'm back. I'm a D1 athlete now, guys. It's crazy.
Chris and James are officially back with us. Chris, go ahead and fill us in on how your trip was up there in North Carolina with the Disc Golf Nationals.
Bro, crazy. So we go up there. Frisbees all over the place. Baskets, great. Throw-ins, spit-outs, chain-outs. Sleet?
Sleet?
Lose.
Really?
Here we go.
Lose.
It sleeted on us.
It is good to have you back, Christian. It's been awkward the last couple times. It's been like it's just been me and James, and then for two of the podcasts, it was just me, and then we had Josh on Thursday night, which was fun. So, it's been fun for the past week, but we have missed you, so I'm glad to have you back. And
you know
James,
what's more fun?
What?
Winning a 1-0 hockey game.
Yeah, no jokes.
Against the Lightning.
Dag freaking gummit. Alex, you just had to say something, didn't you?
Crap, Alex.
I know, yeah. It's all Alex's fault. Okay, I'm just kidding.
People
Alex.
actually listening to the podcast and not live.
Yeah,
we're watching the Vegas and Canucks score, and apparently Vegas just tied it up 4-4.
Yeah, last minute.
And Alex is already filling us in when we didn't even ask him to.
Freaking Vancouver. Come on, Vancouver. Do something right with your life for once.
No, they won't. They'll lose it.
All right, so one of y'all keep track of this while I, divert the conversation into what we should be talking about tonight with the game. But anyways, guys, either one of y'all can jump in with your initial thoughts on tonight's game. I'll just go ahead and say mine because mine's pretty short. I thought it was boring for the first two periods, and I thought the Stars were the better team. They just weren't getting anything going. And then the third period was just a lot of fun. That's how I looked at it.
I thought you were wrong. You're letting the announcers influence you too much.
Yeah.
That game was fun. I mean, the first period, we had fights. We had scuffles. We had anger.
Oh, I would hardly call that a fight. If anything, that was like a wrestling.
Okay, we had cuddling. Which is still exciting.
Oh, man.
I like the cuddling.
On the ticket, though, they talked that fight up a lot. It sounded like the biggest fight ever on the ticket.
There was like 3 punches thrown, and they all missed by at least a foot.
And then somehow it was determined that, Jamie Benn was the winner, which I guess he was the one standing up and the other guy was on the ground. So you know what? Okay, fine. Jamie Benn wins.
Whatever. That whole game was exciting. Lots of exciting moments throughout it. I was fully entertained, even with the 1-0 game. But you're definitely right. We should have won the game by 4 because we were way better than them. I guess the Lightning just didn't bring their offense. I don't know. I mean, Vasilevsky was still there, which is why they're such an amazing team because they can play this bad and still beat you, which is stupid.
It was weird to watch Tampa Bay have no energy in tonight's game. That was weird. It was really weird.
Yeah.
So
the Stars should have rolled them. We still got the 2 points. We got the goal. Exciting last minute goals. That's crazy. Not last minute. Last dying embers.
Those are so great. Especially when you're talking about it's a 1-goal game. And even if it's a tying goal, that's great. But this is a winning goal. Makes it that much better.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it does.
Exactly.
And I think I really let my celebration out when when scored that goal. I did too. I pulled off my headphones and I just started running around the house for a second because I was excited. I was like, heck yes! So, but it is what it is. But okay, so real quick, Brandon thinks I'm 100% wrong. That was a very fun game.
100% wrong as well.
I also agree. Ryan is wrong.
If you were cheering for the Dallas Stars and you thought that was a boring game, you were cheering for the wrong team.
Yep.
Oh, fighting words, James.
That is just facts,
I'm
though. This is how this team plays.
Face. When the next time I see you, I'm gonna slap you across the face. As a
Ryan,
diss to
fake
my
fan confirmed 2022.
better than the Logan Paul fights, though, right?
No.
It still wasn't a good fight, but whatever. Anyways, James, what's your initial thoughts on tonight's game? Anything else?
He agrees with me 100%.
I agree with Chris that it was really exciting, but also it was a very, very physical game. This has been the most physical game since probably the last time we played the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I feel like every time we play this team, it's just always we're out for each other's heads.
Bro, I'm going to give some credit to some people that I will never give credit to ever.
Okay, you want to let's go ahead and get it straight into this. Biggest winners, biggest losers. Chris, you go first.
All right, I'm going to give 2 just because everybody who loves the people that I hate is going to love it. Biggest winners. First, we're going to go Joel Hanley.
Say it.
Joel Hanley first. Joel Hanley.
Oh, Vancouver wins
all night.
Sorry. Alex is updating us with good news this time. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you,
Vancouver
Alex.
does win. Was it in overtime or was it in regulation?
Overtime.
Dang it.
Okay,
well, it's still 1 point. Okay, that's better than nothing. Thank you, Alex, for the update. Sorry,
That's
Chris,
a
go ahead.
miracle. But anyway, huge hits by Hanley. He was great. He played well defensively. He missed the net by a mile a couple times, but that's okay. He doesn't have to hit the net. That's not his job. He can just keep hitting people, and I love it. Great job, Joel Hanley. I'm going to do one more winner because I can cheat because I made this segment.
Mm-hmm.
The second winner is Lou Glendening. He played a great game, offensively, defensively, penalty killing. Let me check the stat before I say he did good on the faceoff dot. Yeah, he did. 50%. We'll take it. Most of those in the defensive zone, too, against very good faceoff guys from the Lightning. So he just played a great game overall. The only downside I'm going to give to Glendening, I'm going to give a caveat.
He didn't score?
He doesn't score. It doesn't even look like he's going to score.
He should have scored like 4 times tonight.
I know, right?
I know he had 4 grade A chances. I never thought for a second any of them were going in. There's never an inkling of hope. Never happened.
How many Yanmarks do we have on our team now?
It's
we have
4.
2.
We have about 4.
Raffle, him.
Raffle, Glendening.
Who else?
Radulov.
And
Gurianov.
Fox in a way?
No, Fox doesn't even get chances. He doesn't even try. He's like, I'll skate backwards. I'll be a third defenseman.
Yeah, that's true. All right, James, biggest winner, biggest loser. You got any other ones? Or
he's got to go winner. I didn't go loser yet. You got to go winner, James.
Okay.
You're messing up my segment, dude. What are you
talking about? Chill.
So I'm gonna go with Hanley as well. He's been a beast the past couple of games he's played in. He's really been playing over what we expect from him, and it's been really nice to see. He's getting time over now Harley and Sekera. I'm pretty sure he's healthy now too, so he's getting time over Sekera as well. He's been playing outstanding.
I'm gonna give 2 biggest winners. One of them is more obvious than the other. Wedgewall. Got to give it to Wedgewall because
decent game.
He wasn't like overtaxed tonight. Ooh, voice crack. He wasn't like overtaxed tonight, but he did make a number of like ginormous saves.
And he was perfect.
And he was perfect. And that's exactly what the Stars needed tonight. And then and Brandon and Alex are both right with me. Sagan played fantastic tonight on both sides of the puck. And you could especially see it in the third period more than anything. And you'll see how many times I wrote his name down tonight, whether it was a blocked shot, whether it was an offensive chance. And then obviously there at the end, it was both him and Fox just kind of laying on the ice like, whew, dude, I'm glad that game's over.
I'm going to fight a little bit on that one, though, because Glendening had pretty much the same impact that Sagan had in this game. Sagan makes $9.5 million a year. Glendening makes a lot less than that.
Who cares what they get paid tonight? We win the game. Come on, Chris. Don't be negative.
I'm just trying to disagree with you. So
you did a good job. Made a logical argument there. So, anyways, biggest loser.
Biggest loser. Oh, I had it in my head. Oh, I lost it. Whoever got hurt.
Nemestikov?
Nemestikov, biggest
I can't say
loser.
his name.
Just
Not
because he got
good.
hurt?
Well, actually, I'm gonna further it. It's not Nemestikov. It's Nil. Because this is like the second time that we get a loner and instantly hurt, and I don't think it's just gonna be for a short period of time.
Didn't we get Zuccarello hurt though?
That's what
Did
I'm saying.
Like he actually
Yeah.
That's
came,
what I'm saying. He was the last
He came
like
back in the
legit
playoffs,
loner
but
for the Stars, and he was immediately injured. So,
Well,
Jim Nil.
Jim Nell. Okay. You could say he's a big winner though for getting Wedgwood. Just saying, Wedgwood is 3-0-1 since coming to the Stars. Just throw him in net and keep him in net. I'm joking, obviously, but still, 3-0-1. That's a great way to start a Dallas Stars tenure.
Yeah, and his only not awesome game was against the Leafs, and he still had some pretty great saves during that game too. I mean,
And it's the Leafs.
Yeah.
The only team that he's played against that has been below the playoff line were the San Jose Sharks. That's it. He's played Carolina, Toronto, and now Tampa Bay. What the heck? It's almost like we're going to take this guy and let's leave him hanging. But still, James, biggest loser?
I'm going to go with Andre Vasilevsky, not because he played bad or anything, but like it's because he played so good and he still loses. Like that dude's just insane. I don't know how their team doesn't win more games like this.
He is the best goalie of this decade.
Of our generation, honestly.
Probably. It's nuts.
Yeah. I mean, in the past generation, it was, the Brodeurs and,
Classic.
Lundqvist, Hasek, obviously Belfour when it comes to the Stars. And even Turco could probably put his name in there a little bit. When it comes to the Stars, specifically is what I'm talking about. Not with those guys. I should not make that distinction between that. You're right, Chris.
Vasilevsky's been like the best goalie in the league for the past 5 years.
Yes, and he does not get enough credit for it.
Just to throw out some career stats he has, his goals against average is for his whole career is a 2.5, and his career save percentage is a 919.
That's ridiculous.
That's stupid. Absolutely stupid. So, anyway. Oh, yeah, duh. I should mention that, too. Patrick Waugh. Thank you, Andrew. I don't know if he is the best goalie. There's an argument between him and Hasek and Brodeur. I think, honestly, a lot of people say Patrick Waugh was the best, but I still think Brodeur would be even above him. And Chris is giving me a grimace. He doesn't agree.
I'm so glad that's not what we're talking about.
We'll get to that in the offseason. Anyways, okay. I don't really have a biggest loser tonight. Y'all kind of took mine, so let's just get into the game. Right at the beginning of the game, nothing really standing out, particularly when it comes to storylines coming into the game, other than the fact of the lineup changes for the Stars. Harley is out, Hanley is in, which turned out to be a really good thing in tonight's game. And then Rads and Kiwi were both out sick, so it's not like they were healthy scratches; they were legit sick.
It's not they're helping us anyway. So.
Yeah, right. Neither one of them are getting any kind of, not even scoring chances. He's kind of getting scoring chances, but he's not really getting any sort of, he's not scoring at all. Period. So, and then Wedgwood with the start tonight. So, and then I wrote, dude, what the heck? Why is Wedgwood only starting against the top teams in the NHL? Literally, that's what I wrote.
Yeah,
and I guess it does.
It's because it works.
Do you think that was maybe the whole intention from Jim Nill and Rick Bowness at the beginning?
What I think
not put Otter against those guys.
Nope, dumb luck.
What I think personally is that they see how good he is in these high shot games that he's played in. And I think that's one of the reasons why we picked him up, because we play a more defensive style and we tend to let up a lot more shots from the outside. And from what it looks like, he saves a lot of that. So,
well, and that's a good thing, because obviously the Stars are going to give up a ton of shots. So
saving pucks is a good thing, Ryan.
Yes,
that's only stuff you can get here, guys.
At least for me. Anyways, 1 minute in, bounce off the boards. Hintz tries to go in front, and nothing comes of it, unfortunately. And that wouldn't be the first time I wrote Hintz's name down. 1 minute later, 2 minutes into the period, Braden Point would have a chance, and again, not the first time I would mention his name. And then y'all can jump in at any time because I took this as very much a boring game through the first 2 periods. So maybe y'all can liven it up for me as I go through my notes. But literally the first 4 minutes I wrote, not much to report in this game so far. It's just kind of going back and forth. There's not a ton of urgency, which is the exact opposite of what I kind of expected, considering Tampa Bay could have locked down a playoff spot tonight if we had won, and Dallas is in a playoff race. So maybe it was just me. Is it just me, or did y'all think that the energy, especially early in the game, was really low?
I thought there was a decent amount of energy. I mean, especially after the Hanley hit, and then the other Hanley hit, and then the fight,
and then the
and
fight,
there was both teams were forechecking really
Fight.
hard too. Like they kind of matched styles there, where they were chipping in and chasing every single shift. So it was cool to see some aggressive hockey, and like they were talking about, like it felt like a playoff atmosphere, and they played it like a playoff game. So it wasn't kind of like the flowiness that we saw with the Maple Leafs game. It was get the puck in the zone and get after it. And I really like that.
Yeah, and that's what these teams both like to do. They both like to chip it in and chip down the other team and win the game by letting the other team make mistakes.
And especially the Stars, that's how they get their goals most of the time, is just off of turnovers. And the few chances that they get, they put it in the back of the net. So anyways, Alex just saying it's just you, Ryan. So maybe it was just me. Good to know, because maybe I just need to liven it up. But whatever. And right after that, I wrote that I was kind of bored with the first 4 minutes. Hanley with a really big hit. So, and again, that Hanley, that would not be the only time I would mention his name.
Really big hit. He flattened the dude.
He did.
That was
who
nuts.
was it? Was it Killorn?
I saw it and I went, whoa!
It was Killorn, wasn't it?
I don't know. Some small guy.
Some small.
I mean,
guy.
Hanley's not big either.
I was about to. So who cares?
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, I don't think that Joel Hanley is all that big. Isn't he like 5'11"?
He's 5'11" and weighs 190 pounds.
And he made a hit like that.
Monster.
He made two monster hits.
Yeah, Ardell on YouTube saying Hanley said get wrecked.
And then he said it again.
Yeah.
And then he said it again later on. Right. And we'll get to that too. Killorn would take a tripping penalty. Pavelski would be the one who draws it. It's the first Stars power play. Sagan would have a chance out of the corner within the first 30 seconds. There was no shot on it, though. Tampa Bay would kill it off, but I thought it was a good power play overall from the Dallas Stars, especially that first one. And it's not like they were still having some issues getting into their zone, but it wasn't as egregious as it's been, over the last month or so. Agree, disagree? What do y'all think?
The first one, maybe, but
I liked the first power play.
Still, when we're this down in the dumps on the power play, you're still just not scoring. Like it's kind of great. Like, did you see the stat they put up? Like, from last calendar year during this season, we were the 4th best. Since January 1st, we are 22nd.
And somehow that averages out to 12th in the NHL.
That is how averages work.
Well, still, that seems
Good job,
to be.
Ryan.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm just coming after you today. Moving on.
Anyways, Nemestikov would have a block shot, and we didn't know it at this point, but that would cause him to leave the game. He would not come back after the first period, unfortunately, and we'll see if that how that affects the line combinations going forward. Literally about 4 minutes after the first Hanley hit, I put that there was another Hanley hit on Nick Paul. So big hit by Hanley there. 11:53, Ben and Paul go at it. 5 minutes for fighting. I put it was more like a wrestling match than anything, with a couple of punches thrown that missed. So, but what did y'all think?
I like James said this in the group chat. He said Ben fighting in Hanley's place during that is pretty much telling Hanley, yeah, keep laying down to big checks, which is exactly what you want from Jamie Benn. That's classic Captain Jamie Benn mode right there. We love that.
And that fight kind of comes from Nick Paul giving Hanley a pretty good slash too. So That's kind of what insinuated the fight.
What a pansy move. You get
Right?
body checked. You
Gets
just swing
flattened
your
him and
stick at him.
slashed the dude.
What are
Wow.
you doing, dude?
That's what I thought too. I was not happy about that.
Let me ask y'all about this because I think it's stupid now. But, back in the day when there would be a quote unquote ugly hit or, maybe an illegal hit, somebody would go after, the person that gave that. I was okay with that part of the game, and that part of the game still happens. But now it's like anytime there's any kind of big body check, even if it's legal, which most of the hits now are illegal when they're big like that, they're like supposed to answer by ringing the door, the bell, and going after. I think that's stupid.
I'm perfectly fine
to have to fight, especially you give a big hit.
If Jamie Benn lays a big hit on McDavid, even if it's clean, you better
okay, but that's
Oilers
different. This is Nick Paul. This is a guy who's on the third line. This is not
okay. He's trying to make a name for himself. So he's trying to show that, hey, I can't just be hit all over the place, even though he definitely can because he's a little pansy boy.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's stupid that you have to throw your gloves down when you make a big body check.
You don't have to. He's trying to make his presence known because he's a nobody. Okay. He's a nobody who makes millions of dollars.
I was about to say that.
I don't have a problem with having to fight after big hits. I have a problem with players getting up and doing the stupid little slash stuff after a play or cross-checking. That's stupid.
That's true. Okay, that's even more so than anything. I like that.
Chance, then it's better than baseball.
Yeah, that's
true.
Baseball,
you hit the star batter. They're just gonna be your star batter. Nothing that guy can do, but he can't throw that. That's the way he gets the rules.
Right. But anyway, just random tangent there. I thought it was stupid, but where am I at? Oh, by the way, Nicholas Paul, for those of you that don't know, was actually drafted by the Dallas Stars and went to Ottawa when Dallas traded for Jason Spezza. Go and check me up on that. I didn't even look it up. I just know it. I'm that smart.
Whoa.
Man, you're so smart.
So smart.
Except we saw that in the game.
Yes.
Whoa.
Huh?
Saw that in the game, didn't we? I saw that somewhere. No, you saw that on Twitter. You saw that on Twitter.
I didn't. I put one tweet up during the night tonight. That's it. So you can go look.
Whoa, that's impressive, Ryan. One tweet?
One tweet.
I know.
That's self-control.
Normally there's about 30.
That is some crazy self-control.
That's probably why the game is so boring.
Oh yeah, that must explain
true.
it.
Maybe that's why. Because normally I'm like tweeting with like Ben or Josh or Hunter up there on Twitter. But it is what it is. But anyways, keep going on into the first period after the fight. Klinger would have a good stick on Cirelli, so making sure there's making sure there's nothing there. Klinger with a good defensive play. Corey Perry, our Lord and Savior, he returns. He gets a shot. It goes high into the netting for the Tampa Bay Lightning. There's a Tampa turnover. Pavs to Robo with a good shot, but it's an even better save by Vasilevsky. There's a tip in front by the Stars. Chaos ensues, and Studenic would get a chance out of that chaos. And that was the only time I wrote down Studenic's name tonight. So I don't know if I would want to see more from him because I know we just picked him off of waivers. But
healthy scratch next game, Dunzo.
This is maybe I don't know.
Someone tell Bones he's only on Ryan's sheet once.
Because my sheet is like the law.
It's the all-seeing eye.
The all-seeing eye, exactly.
It knows everything.
Anyway, the American Airlines Center wanted to call on Cal Foote, who I hate that guy because he's a jerk and an idiot. That was the one tweet I made tonight. Someone go destroy him. And no call comes, unfortunately, for the Stars.
The officiating this game was crazy.
Yeah. It was
even in the third period. Especially the third
you know
period.
what? Props to them. They fully went prison rules. They didn't blow anything in the third period.
Yeah, once they're like, we kind of screwed this game up. Let's just call nothing.
Yeah.
And they really called nothing.
They really called nothing.
Right.
The first three penalties were like, I guess. And then by the end of the game, people were literally just like chopping down trees. Like they were people.
Yeah.
Or shoving or like getting in each other's face
allowed.
or, anything like that. But
yeah, I don't know. This game is weird.
I wrote down later in the in my notes, I wrote the refs are getting ready for the playoffs. It was a playoff game tonight. Y'all said it already. Sorry, James. What?
They thought it was the playoffs already.
Right. Exactly. I guess.
9 more games.
I don't know. 8:25 remaining in the first period. 5-2 shots in favor of Dallas. That would change very quickly. Tampa Bay would get their first power play. After that, Nemestikov would take the hooking penalty on Cirelli. A minute into the power play, Point with a shot in the slot. It was a really good save by Wedgwood, who would make numerous good saves here in tonight's game. There was a lot of movement by Tampa Bay on the power play, but I thought the Stars did okay with their penalty killing, especially on that particular penalty kill. Did y'all see anything out of the PK work tonight that you liked?
Yeah, there was one thing that they said on the ticket in that first penalty kill that we had was that we were being really aggressive on the Lightning.
That's a good point.
We know how they can set up and do all that, and they were, and just the word they were saying was aggressive.
And it's aggressive on the mistakes is what I've been talking about all season long. So there was times on our PK, I feel like it was the second one especially where they had a good majority of their chances, where we got aggressive, but it was when they were still having full control of the puck. And that's when they can get interior on us and get those chances from the slot. So whenever there's a slight mishandle in the puck, that's when you get aggressive and you put pressure on the guy with the puck to make a good play. If he has tons of time, he sees you coming, he's gonna make a good play. He's an NHL hockey player. So it's selectively being aggressive, and they did that well for the most part tonight. And the penalty kill was very good, especially Glenn Denning. Give him another shout out. He was great.
One of the best Dallas Stars in tonight's game.
Oh, definitely.
Hands down. One of the best Dallas Stars, if not the best, despite Wedgwood getting the shutout and Hintz getting the goal. I thought he was probably the best Dallas Star tonight. Anyway, moving on. I wrote Sagan would have a really big hit with 6 minutes remaining. So there's a third big hit by a Dallas Stars player there. 2 minutes later, it would very quickly change in shots advantage. Tampa Bay is now leading 7-6. 4 minutes remaining in the first. And then I wrote Stars really need to take advantage of the appeared tiredness of the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I was really scared going into the first intermission because I thought we were the better team, and Tampa Bay was not playing well at all, and playing their normal way. And the Stars, they were getting chances, they were getting decent chances, but they just weren't. I don't know. They just weren't getting extra. Yeah, they just weren't scoring. They weren't getting that extra little energy that they need to get a goal.
Yeah, I feel like we were slightly better than Tampa in this period. And when you're at home against a team like Tampa Bay, that one goal is like all the difference going into the first intermission. And I thought it was really missed opportunity that we didn't get that one. And we'll talk about the second, even more so in that period, because we dominate the second period. We can get into that now.
Yeah, and before the second period happens, the Stars would get their second power play of the night. It was Braden Point going to the box for tripping. Trash. And this one would definitely was trash. And I was surprised by this statistic that the Tampa Bay Lightning are the second most penalized team in the NHL. I don't know why that surprised me, but it did. And then I wrote an uneventful first minute of power play time to end the first, and it would continue in the second. They start with a power play to begin the second period. Nothing on it. Heiskanen would end the power play though with a shot off the crossbar. It looked like he was going for the corner behind Vasilevsky, and it would not make it. 18-14 remaining in the second. 8-7 shots for Tampa Bay. And then I wrote this again because I thought it was going to get better in the second period too. But I thought there should have been more urgency from both teams, and I wasn't seeing it much in the game up to this point. And y'all already disagree with me on that point. So
and everybody else has already disagreed with you.
So what am I missing? What am I missing then in the whole urgency?
We're watching the forecheck, man. I mean, the forecheck back and forth between both teams was great. There wasn't a ton of like speed through the neutral zone in this game. It was chip it behind and go get the puck. And those puck battles on the boards were fun to watch.
And that's one of the stats that I thought were actually kind of weird in like after the second period. It was like it was offensive zone time for both teams was like really high for what a second period should be. It was like think it was upwards of like 7 minutes halfway through the second for both teams, which
Wow, that is high.
which is
Very
really
high.
high. Yeah, so this game was not played in the neutral zone at all, which is a big tell for both these teams. They're not fast teams. That's not what they're built to be.
Yeah, I agree. So, Ryan, once again, I mean, we can do this every period if you want, but you're an idiot. Moving on.
No, you're an idiot. No, you're an idiot. Hey, shut
And
up.
now he's arguing
No,
with
you
himself.
shut
Okay.
up. Okay, anyways. Getting into this more. Robo would have a chance off of a broken play by Sagan. Sagan would whiff on it, and Robo would take it and shoot it, and Vasilevsky would say no. 20 seconds later, Sagan with some speed, and he shoots over and goes high on his shot. 13:25 remaining. Point would hit the post after a Dallas turnover, so not good by Dallas. They're turning the puck over. And that's when we find out that Nemestikov would not return to the game. We already mentioned that.
Big sad.
12:11 remaining. Cross Essa. I thought it was a stupid play by Essa. I don't know what you guys think about that. Did you think it was a penalty by Essa Lindell there? I thought it was kind of lazy.
I mean, yeah, that's a penalty, but I can count 3 more that were in the third period that weren't called too. So
To each
he
his
also
own.
went down pretty easily.
It's
Anyways.
a cross check to the back, though. I mean,
On the
I've never felt that,
Yeah,
but I'm
it's a
sure that
penalty.
really hurts.
It's a
Yeah.
penalty, but
Even
I'm not going to give the refs any kind of credit for this game because of how inconsistent it was.
even from youth hockey when I played when I was little, getting a cross check in the back, even a little one, hurts, and it's not fun. I can guarantee you that. I remember
Sounds
that when
like
I
you
was
were a baby.
10. Dude, I was like 4'2". Of course I was a baby.
There you go. You were a wimp.
Anyways, Stars would win the face-off off the ensuing play to begin the Tampa power play, and they would kill time. Wedgwood would make a good save on point and close, and Stars with good chances shorthanded by Hintz and Glendening, and Glendening actually had 2 chances there. So this is where we're starting to see Glendening really, he's already made good plays. He's already had some decent defensive hits and some defensive plays, but this is when we really see the offensive side come out for Glendening tonight.
Yep, and they never had a chance to go in.
It's the curse of the yin, Mark. We're going to start calling it that. The Stars would finish the power play and they would kill it off. And then about 8:45 remaining in the second period, I wrote, the Stars have really started to take over the game, like more so than they already had. They had already been the better team, but they just had nothing to show for it up to that point, and they were really starting to take advantage of their opportunities more.
And that's proven by the shots on goal for this period. We doubled them up 12-6.
And I was going to get into that too. Yeah, good. That's a good stat to point out. 8 minutes remaining. Peterson would have a good defensive play on the stick lift. 30 seconds later, Hansen Kucherov with a really awkward accidental collision in the neutral zone. And I didn't even see what happened. I guess they just both didn't pay attention to the other. And at first I thought both of them were hurt. And thankfully they both came out okay. But 30 seconds after that, 7 minutes remaining, Glendening actually had a tip chance in front, so Glendening's name comes out again. A minute and 15 seconds later, Sagan had a chance, but he can't bury it. Vasi would have a really good poke check to take it away, and Sagan was trying to pull it in front, and Vasilevsky just made a really good defensive play. Wasn't even forced to make a save on that. Heiskanen would have a point shot, 4 minutes remaining, and Ruffle, of course, curse of the Yanmark, would have 2 rebound chances. Neither of them go in. Essa would take another penalty, his second of the period, and it would be the third Tampa Bay power play. And right off that power play, Kucherov with a rocket. My gosh, the guy can shoot. And Wedgwood would make a good save on that. Cirelli would also take it to the net, and he runs right into Wedgwood, and it looked like Wedgwood was hurt for a second, but he immediately popped back up, and he looked like he was okay for then. Did y'all think that was maybe some goaltender interference? There were some arguments that I saw later on Twitter about that.
It was definitely could have easily been avoided. Let's say this. If there's a goal on the play, then it's definitely goaltender interference. But since there wasn't a goal, it's not goaltender interference. I don't know. Nobody knows how this rule works. The NHL doesn't know how this rule works. It's a bad rule.
That's facts.
Yeah.
So I
Call
guess
it consistently, please.
No. We'll say I say no.
You say no. Okay. Glendening would miss wide on a shorthanded chance, and the Stars would kill the
No
Tampa
way.
Bay power play. Second period. What's y'all's thoughts from the second period?
We should have scored multiple goals.
It should be 3-0.
We scored no goals.
It should be 3-0, honestly. Maybe 3-1. That was my opinion going into the second intermission.
And this made me scared.
Yes, because we had been the better team, and Tampa Bay has a chance to go out in the third period and steal the game from us, even though we had been the better team.
This is definitely the one thing that we agree on, is that when we go into the third period tied, as Stars fans, we are scared.
Yeah, it's scared. Well, actually, I'm more scared when we have a 1-goal lead. So
that's scary too.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I think I was more anxious than anything because I thought we were going to lose. I was like on the edge of my seat for the whole third period.
I think the whole stadium was on the edge of their seats, especially at like the end. Sometimes. Yeah, at the end of the second there, they were jumping up at every chance from either side. It was like
they were just exciting in there.
They wanted a goal to happen so bad.
I love the American Airlines Center. They've been so good this year.
The fans in general. Game and it was so hype.
Yeah, especially the past couple of games. That everyone who's been there has just been amazing.
Yeah, so y'all keep it up.
Yeah, not counting chickens before they hatch, but some playoff hockey in there would be insane.
Knocking on. Knock. Okay, anyway, third period. Not like it needs to be said again, but I'll say it again. Dallas has been the better team, but nothing to show for it. Whatever. 30 seconds in, Sergachev would turn over the puck. He takes a tripping penalty on Ben, who also kind of quietly had a pretty good game too. Not as good as Glendening, but, decent game for Ben. They would go on their third power play. Klinger would have a good keep to keep it in the zone, but unfortunately, his effort is wasted. Hintz would have a couple of rebound attempts. The guy just seems to get, scoring attempts from all over the ice, whether it's, off the rush, whether it's in front of the net, whether it's from the circles, from the point, wherever. He's just always getting chances, and hopefully that continues. Ben would actually have a big hit on Jan Ruda, which wasn't even mentioned in the ESPN broadcast. It should have been, but whatever. Tampa would kill off that Dallas power play, then shut up.
You're killing me tonight, Chris.
Yeah, I know. 16:45 remaining. Stars return the puck over. Stamkos would take it, pass it to Kucherov in the slot, and Wedgwood with arguably the best save of the night at that point on Kucherov. And 15 seconds later after that, Henson foot with some unpleasantness, in between the whistles. So, it's starting to get a little chippy here. And I'll ask a question about this at the end.
You're the only one who didn't notice.
I'm the only one that didn't notice?
Yep, that was part of the excitement.
Okay. Sagan would have a block shot. Sagan would have a block shot, but so he's on there again. Sagan
say that a lot this period.
Mm-hmm. Seriously. McDonough would have his. I thought this was funny, but McDonough would have his stick go flying after Hintz rolls through the ozone because he just can't. It was almost like oh, he's too fast, and it was literally like about 10, 15 feet in the air, and I thought it was hilarious. So it seems like it's been like that consistently for the past week or so, guys. There's been one instance where it's just absolutely hilarious that it made me laugh. But anyways, and then I wrote this down because this was really interesting, and this was straight from the ESPN broadcast. So they did a good job in pulling up these stats. But Tampa Bay only had 35 shot attempts in the game up to this point. So we're halfway through the third period, and normally they have about 62 to 65. So really, really low in the shot attempts. You okay there, Chris?
Yeah, my bad.
Oh, man. You're killing it tonight.
Yeah.
Out of practice here.
I had 2 exams right after coming back. I'm on 3 hours of sleep right now, bro.
Oh, my gosh.
Why are you here?
I don't know.
Anyways, continuing on. Of course, Glendening can't score a goal, so he gets another chance, and it's a big old breakaway chance, and Vasilevsky makes the save. And then literally right on the other side of the Okay, I gotta pull this up. Brandon, for those of you listening on the podcast side, Brandon says Chris looks like he has to poop so bad right now. Do you?
Go to YouTube. No, I'm good.
No. Go to
This
YouTube
looks
if you
like
really
it.
want to see
I
the
actually
face.
had a rare 2 bowel movement day today, so
Oh my gosh,
Whoa.
we're talking
Pretty
about
clean
bowel
right now.
movements on Starcastic Remarks.
What
Anyways,
else is this for?
what does Cicerelli do?
it was actually Palat. Andre Palat would
Right.
get robbed by Wedgwood, in close, and it was Braden Point with the pass. So good save by Wedgwood there. And then there was another good save by Wedgwood off of a Chernak shot. Chernak is one of the big defensemen for Tampa Bay there. And then there's a really big scoring chance for Dallas, and Vasilevsky makes the save, but it trickles just wide of the post, and everybody in the American Airlines Center freaks out because that's the closest we've seen to a goal at this point for either team. And I believe it was Sagan who took the shot. I didn't know for an actual fact. That's just what I wrote down. 9:23 remaining. There was a good stick by Hakanpää, made a good defensive play. Sagan again, said his name like 20 billion times tonight. He shoots just wide. 8 minutes remaining. He did, but at least he's making himself known. Wedgwood would make a save as Point gets a piece of the centering feed, and then finally it takes 55 minutes and 10 seconds, but Hintz would score for the Dallas Stars in the slot from Pavelski. And it was just a simple play. It was just cycle play in the offensive zone for that top line. And they get a couple of shots from the point. I think it was actually Hintz who had an opportunity. And then it goes below the red line. Pavelski gets it, passes it into the slot. Hintz takes care of it, buries it.
Hintz gets sneaky in the slot.
Yeah. And what a great way to find that pass through all of those people from Pavelski. He passes it through Robertson's legs to this tiny little area in front of the net that Hintz just happens to be perfectly in, and just it was such a
pass
good
was
pass
amazing.
too. How do you find that?
But what is Robertson thinking? He sees the puck go through his legs, and he's like, "God dang it!" And then he just hears the horn go off. He's like, "Huh?"
Yeah,
Okay.
Exactly. Well, honestly, guys, I thought it was a really bad defensive play by Tampa Bay there. There was literally three guys around Rope Hintz, and he's still able to get the shot off.
Well, to be fair,
I need to give credit to Pavelski. Yes, 100%. Amazing pass. Somehow gets it through all those guys. But if you have three guys against one, it's not like they weren't they were within stick length. I mean, they could have gotten the stick on the puck, and they did.
A great defensive play, but it was a really good offensive play too.
Yeah.
I mean, it was done
Great
so
play,
fast.
yes.
Smart pass, one timer.
And you're talking about that's the one egregious mistake they made all night. The one mistake all night, and we're able to sink that. That's crazy. That from both sides, that was probably the worst mistake on the night defensively. And it's in.
So Stars take a 1-0 lead, 5 minutes remaining, and what do? They kind of turtle, I guess.
Yeah, they
kind
turtled.
of.
I'm okay with turtling in the last 5 minutes though, when it's a 1-goal game.
And then I wrote this down because I thought it was really starting to get chippy at this point. And you were starting to see, duets of players getting at it. First it was Ben and Chernak, and then it was Klinger and Cirelli. So, these two teams really don't like each other, which I think is awesome. I love it. Just to finish it out, 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining. Glendening just can't seem to get a goal, even if it's an empty net. He had a chance.
That should have been awarded. The dude had an armball on him.
I don't think so.
It was third period prison rules. It's fine. Legal.
We won the game. We got the 2 points. We're good. And then finally, with the game dying in the final seconds, Sagan and Fox are lying on the ice. Wedgwood gets the shutout. And great game overall. 1-0. Stars pull out the win.
Yeah, the whole Stars defensive zone was just screaming, crying, throwing up, passing out all over the ice, equipment everywhere, body parts laying all over the place. It was nuts.
Well, Here's two questions I got for you. First off, how annoying was it with like the last minute and a half with that guy that was standing right there blocking like half of the defensive zone for the Stars?
ESPN was so close to not screwing something up on a Stars game.
And they screwed it up.
We all remember the last ESPN broadcast where we missed a penalty shot, a whole penalty shot we just didn't get to see.
Mm-hmm.
And now we miss out on a whole quarter of the offensive zone.
Or we deal with
need
commentary from Mark Messier when we're playing against the Edmonton Oilers. You remember that game too on the ESPN
I
Club?
think that's
that was
fun.
stupid.
Y'all are babies.
That's not babies. It's stupid. They shouldn't have put it on there. Anyways,
Well, yeah,
okay. So I thought it
ESPN's
was
gotta figure it
stupid.
out.
I thought it was stupid, but I mean, at the same time, that normally doesn't happen. So maybe it was just
feel
a
like
fluke.
the camera is in a different spot from where Valley Sports camera is.
Really?
I thought that as soon as they turned it on and like as the game progressed, it kind of like you get used to. You stop thinking about it. I think it's in a different spot. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know, man.
I could be wrong, but I didn't think it was. But whatever. It's not that big a deal. Stars get the win. And then here's the other thing I was thinking about to maybe close this up tonight because we're already looking at 50 minutes. Would you call the Tampa Bay Lightning a rival of the Dallas Stars? Like a big time rival, like a bigger rival than I'm saying, like than kind of like a Nashville level rival. Because I really think that it's unfortunate that we're not in the same division, but with the history that these teams have in the past 2 years, especially 2 years ago in the Stanley Cup final, last year being in the same division because of COVID reasons, is this team like a true rival of the Dallas Stars now? I think you could almost argue they are.
I'll say they're our biggest Eastern Conference rival, but that still puts them below almost everybody in the Central Division.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
just hard.
fair.
It's hard to have a rivalry when you're only playing twice.
Yeah,
So-
and that's true. And that's
But yes,
unfortunate.
they are the biggest Eastern Conference rival, and it's always fun to play Tampa Bay. And I think they always look forward to playing us too. So
Yeah.
Okay, and I should point this out too because Alex makes a good point. No, I wouldn't put Tampa on the same rivalry level as St. Louis and Nashville. I agree with you on that, but I would put them above, Arizona, even Winnipeg, maybe, and maybe even Colorado, just because Colorado is too good and we're not as good. So that, but again, maybe the whole Colorado thing isn't.
Well, we just
that's
haven't
not
had
the
battles
case.
with Colorado yet. Like Nashville and St. Louis, we've
had a lot of
playoff
battles.
history,
That's true, yeah.
regular season history. That's really what it comes down to. Tampa Bay, we just have the one series and then the 10 games. So, yeah. Biggest Eastern Conference rival, but way lower than all the rest.
I love it. I want it to continue. I wish we played them more than just twice, but it's impossible to do that unless you go out and play like 160 games like the freaking MLB does.
Or you go to the Stanley Cup final.
I would love that. And maybe see them in the Stanley Cup final.
You never know.
Rematch round 2.
Good
Fight.
words. Good words.
So,
Thanks, James.
okay.
You always have my back.
Anything else tonight, guys, before we close it out?
G, boys.
They've missed that from you. They've missed that from you, Chris. They
I
have.
gave
GG,
them one.
boys. Oh my gosh, what a good game.
That's going to do it for us tonight, guys. This has been the after game review for Game 73. Guys, we are in the last 9 games of the season. Let's hope the Stars pull this out. They get the win tonight, 1-0 over the Dallas Stars. Oh my gosh. I've been so good without you guys here. And of course, the first game, y'all are both back. I screwed up. Against the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Man.
Yeah, I know. Please go and use the promo code THPN next time you go and use the DraftKings app or on their website for a special little offer from them. And that lets them know that we're the ones that sent you. Also, go check us out. Our phase 1 of our merchandise is available at StarcasticandMarksShop.com. Ardell saying he's got his merch. And
Tag us on the Insta snaps.
Insta snaps.
Tag us on the Insta snaps, man.
And then Katrina also saying she was wearing her Starcastic and Marks shirt for good luck. I
Yes,
think it did the
sir.
trick. I like it. I like it, Katrina. Thank you for doing that.
We gotta start wearing. We gotta match our shirts. We gotta pick games where we all wear the Starcaster Mark shirts for good luck.
Yeah, we have to start doing
We gotta save it for big games. We gotta wait and see.
that. Well, I'm
Speaking
already
of big
penciling that
games.
Vegas. Yeah, that Vegas game is going to be huge.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we'll be back with you guys on Thursday. Stars have a normal local start time at 7 o'clock against the Minnesota Wild. We'll be with you guys then, along with Chris and with James. My name is Ryan. This has been Starcastic Remarks. We will catch you guys on the flip side. And we hope you guys have a good, fantastic morning, evening, whenever you're watching this. Good night.